What is up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S10e. This phone is one of my favorite compact smartphones right now. It's my go-to recommendation for anybody that has sort of smaller hands, or you just want something that you can actually, get to the screen with just one hand. You don't have to two-hand the phone, all the time. So this is one of my go-to phones. So let's go ahead and break it down. Android 11 breathed a lot of life into this phone as well. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So design-wise, you have a glass and metal design. It's IP68 dust and water resistant, so it can survive, getting dropped in a toilet or, rain or whatever. So it can survive that, and it's got a really nice feel to it, kind of lightweight, so not super heavy as well. On the right side, we have our power button / fingerprint scanner, which I think is the best place to put it on the power button. I just feel like it's super natural when you take it out of your pocket and you just unlock it like that. It just feels natural, and I think it's better than putting it on the back and on the front. Down below, we have USB Type-C. We do have our 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as stereo speakers on this guy, volume rockers, and then we have a dedicated Bixby button. Now, this is still a top tier display on the S10e. You have a dynamic AMOLED display at 5.8 inches. It's 1080p 438 for the PPI. It is an absolutely beautiful display. You have pretty respectable bezels on here still, and you have the little punch hole up top to give you that, sort of immersive experience. The colors on this display are absolutely beautiful on here. I still think Samsung makes some of the best panels till this day, and there's no exception with this. This phone is fairly bright outdoors as well. And again, the thing that's gonna pop out when you get this phone, beautiful colors, deep blacks on here. So this is just a beautiful display here. You can see just the colors on here. It just always pops out. Every time I use any sort of Galaxy phone, I'm always impressed with the display quality on these phones. Now, again, as somebody who does not have like really large hands, this is one of those phones that you can honestly one hand easily without having to struggle with. So you can reach the top of the screen, and you can just sort of get to stuff easier without sort of having to use like two hands to do everything, kind of with these bigger phones at 6.5 and 6.8 inches. So this phone is a really nice size, which is something that I really like. It doesn't strain the hand or anything like that. So let's talk about software on here. It's Android 11, of course, with One UI, and it's definitely very snappy. One UI is definitely much more polished than it used to be, which is something I'm really loving. Still, one of my favorite features to date is this, split screen auto pop-up on here. So you can see I can bring up, and I can do this for any applications that I want. I can bring up two applications at once and just have that fast access. And Samsung offers a ton of customization with One UI as well. And you're not really lacking anything in the software department with this phone. So your secured folders is on here, screen recordings on here, Dolby Atmos is on here, your dark mode, of course, is on here, and then your Samsung desktop support is actually on here as well. So if you want to plug this phone up and get the Samsung desktop experience and view it on your PC monitor or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. So that is just a really awesome experience. So you're getting really, you're not missing any type of features with this phone, which is awesome as far as software wise. And again, just to reiterate, this phone is blazing fast when it comes to just scrolling, swiping, stuff like that. I don't have any hiccup problems, and that is because you have the Snapdragon 855 chip in here. So this is still a very capable processor. So like I was saying, you get the Snapdragon 855 Adreno 640 combo, micro SD support, and 128 gigs of internal storage and 6 gigs of RAM on here. So this phone is plenty enough fast, and honestly I have a full gaming test on the channel, but this phone is still very fast when it comes to playing video games and stuff like that. It'll pretty much handle any video game in the Play Store. You can play Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever you want on this phone. So this can be a little compact gaming phone for you as well. Everything works fine. Game looks beautiful on this beautiful colorful display. I will say this phone does get a little bit warmer than like the usual phones that I test. I'm assuming most people are going to use a case anyway, but it does get a little bit warm. Not hot to the touch, but warm That is one thing that I noticed. But you know, as far as gaming and stuff like that, it is going to be an excellent experience on here for sure. This phone has some really great sounding stereo speakers tuned by AKG. I'll go ahead and play them for you at max volume. So just beautiful sound on here, very crisp and clear hi-hats on here. You can actually hear the 808s, the kicks. These are some really nice sounding speakers, and again, nothing is distorting even at max volume. So these are just some beautiful sounding speakers, and that goes for whatever you're doing, whether you're gaming or, you know, watching a movie or whatever. These are going to be some very loud and crisp and you know, clear speakers. Now, just to mention all of your additional features, like I said, we have the IP68 dust and water resistant. NFC is on board on this phone as well, so mobile payments are a go on this guy. Samsung desktop support is here. You got your headphone jack on here as well. You also have wireless charging and reverse wireless charging on this guy, which I actually show you. All you have to do is click on the wireless power share and really just put your phone down. So we got the 60 here. Just put it down, you can see it starts charging. So you can do this for your earbuds or whatever it is compatible with wireless charging. So that is always like a really cool feature to have on your phone. And also just to touch on the fingerprint scanner, that also works extremely fast on here. But you do have face unlock on here as well, so maybe I can get it from behind the camera here. Yeah, I can't. It does work really well. Okay, there it is. But as you can see, that works fine if you don't want to use the fingerprint scanner. That works fine on here as well. So all right, let's talk about the cameras on the S10e, because they have aged so well on this phone, and you're gonna see that. You have a 12 megapixel standard, a 16 megapixel ultra wide, 4K video at 60 frames, and you have a 10 megapixel selfie that shoots at 4K video, 30 or 60 frames as well. The photos on the S10e are excellent. They're pretty much the same photos that you would get on, the standard Galaxy S10 on here. So everything just has great detail, pretty good color signs as well, very punchy colors that people love. Like I said, dynamic range is excellent. Depth of field is pretty good on here. Even though there's no actual depth sensor, you can still get a good blurry shot on here as well. And the ultra wide is really nice as well. It actually keeps very good color. It actually keeps good color with the standard camera as well. So there's not a huge color shift, and it keeps a good amount of detail as well. And yeah, so just good punchy colors. You can get like a softer kind of photo if you're taking a low light photo. I noticed that, but otherwise these are still excellent cameras, really nice cameras, very detailed cameras on here. That goes for the front facing camera as well. You get really good selfie pictures too, and medium and good lighting as well. So overall I was really pleased with the S10e's cameras on here. Here's a video in the mic quality on the S10e. Punch out to 0.5. And also Samsung has a lot of stuff to play with in the camera application as well. You get a lot of options to sort of get the photos that you really want. A lot of settings to play with on here as well, which is really nice. So that's something that I've always appreciated about their camera application. It gives you sort of the freedom to get the shots that you desire. Now you have a 3100 milliamp battery on this phone. And you also have, like I said, 15-watt fast charging, and then you have the wireless charging with reverse wireless charging on here. So battery life is okay on the S10e for a phone this size. I think it's fine. You can get around 6 hours of screen on time with this guy, which I think is perfectly, acceptable for a phone this size. That's definitely all day. I do consider 6 hours to be all day for the average person. So the S10e is just a really solid phone. What do you guys think? If you guys want to check out the link down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.